Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host, Deffinition, aka Mr. Marvel, and this is the channel where we explain it so you don't have to. The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer brings a wealth of new possibilities into the MCU, and since its release yesterday, fans have flooded the internet with their theories on what could happen in the film. Throughout this video, I'll be breaking down the top 5 fan theories that I've read and discussing if I think that they hold any weight. This is full spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen Endgame yet and don't want to know some of the big plot points from that film, then I highly suggest that you turn off now. With that out the way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now sit back, relax, and let's get into my Far From Home fan theories breakdown. Theory 1, Tony Stark will be in the movie. Okay, so the first fan theory comes in the form of a returning character who was seemingly killed off in Endgame. Whilst I do believe that Tony Stark is dead, that doesn't mean that he won't be in the film in one form or another. In Endgame, we saw that Stark left not one, but 2 farewell messages to his friends and family, so it makes sense that he would also leave something behind for Peter Parker. Whilst Tony will not be in the film through flesh and blood, I do think that we will see a return of the character through the form of a hologram, which Peter will discover when putting on his glasses. In the trailer, we see him taking them off and seeming surprised at what he's just witnessed, so it makes sense for Tony to have left something special behind for him. Whilst the two did get an opportunity to say goodbye to each other, it still would be a nice little Easter egg that shows that in one form or another, Tony will always be with him. Theory 2. Mysterio is lying. Our next fan theory centers around Mysterio, the newly introduced MCU character. Whilst Mysterio claims to be from another dimension, I don't actually think that this is true. Many fans online, including myself, believe that the elementals in the film are in fact illusions that the character is using in order to propel himself as a savior. Adding a mysterious universe to his past will also help to avoid suspicion about how he came to achieve his abilities, and therefore most will probably not look into it. Saying he's from the multiverse is the perfect opportunity for the character to put himself at the forefront, and if he's lying about the elementals, then you can bet that he's also lying about where he comes from. However, I do think that the multiverse is still real and will be in the MCU. I think the 2 post-credit scenes of the film will have some major moments that will pull from this, and that ties into my next theory. Theory 3, the movie will have an XMen tie-in. X-Men Dark Phoenix is due to release in June, and the film is said to be the conclusion of the X-Men Fox franchise. Disney now owns the studio and therefore the X-Men characters, so Spider-Man Far From Home is the perfect opportunity to bring the 2 universes together, especially now that we know the multiverse exists. I believe that during one of the film's post-credit scenes that we will get a tie into the X-Men franchise, with some of the characters crossing over into the universe. If not this, then definitely the Fantastic Four, who are long overdue to appear in the MCU. The snap tearing through reality is the perfect opportunity to introduce already established characters, and Marvel will likely be bringing them into Far From Home, which is going to act as huge setup for Phase 4. There's also been massive rumours about reshoots around X-Men Dark Phoenix, and I think the final act of that film will tease a tie-in to the MCU through the use of the multiverse. Disney have a big opportunity to bring 2 massive franchises together, and the fact that they are introducing the multiverse confirms to me at least that they are definitely going to bring the 2 together in a crossover. Theory 4, Spider-Man Noir is from the multiverse. Whilst I'm not fully on board with this theory, I think that it could be an interesting way to introduce the Spider-Verse into the MCU. That film was obviously very successful, and Sony will be wanting to cash in on it as much as possible. Therefore, there is a chance that the black suited Spider-Man that we see in the trailer isn't actually Peter Parker from Earth Prime, and is in fact a Spider-Man from an alternate timeline that is battling the elementals. Though there isn't much evidence for this beyond guesswork, it would still be a neat way to showcase the rest of the multiverse and give us an awesome alternative version of Spider-Man in the process. Theory 5, MJ is Nick Fury's daughter. And finally, this is probably the most widespread theory that I've seen online in regards to the film, and many seem to believe that this is indeed true, including myself. But what evidence is there for this? Well, character-wise, the 2 actually have a lot in common. MJ is always spying and creeping up on people, and she literally goes to detention to profile and draw portraits of other classmates. Outfit wise, the 2 characters share similar tastes, with both donning black for the majority of their appearances. MJ's hair covers her right eye a lot in Homecoming, similar to Nick Fury's eye patch, and despite being anti-authority, she still ends up a leader at the end of the film. Historically, parents always play a big role in the Spider-Man universe, and over the decades we've saw Harry Osborn's father as the Green Goblin, Gwen Stacy's as the Chief of Police, and Liz's as the Vulture. This would open up an amazing opportunity for Nick Fury to become the stern father, and would add an extra layer to his relationship with Peter that would no doubt be hilarious in the film. I can definitely see this being the case, and I really hope that this makes it to the movie. Oh yeah, and that would explain how she also knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these fan theories, and if you agree or disagree with them. Comment below and let me know, and if you love this video 3000, then please like it and make sure you check out my full trailer breakdown, which will be linked at the end. It covers everything you need to know about the Far From Home trailer, and I go over my theory on how Sony will use it as a platform to bring Tom Holland's webhead into the Spider-Verse. This is a channel for people who are super into superheroes, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Deffinition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.